What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another late night in the BrewLab with me, Lone Fox, your brewmaster in chief. And tonight in the BrewLab, I'm coming at you with my very first Riveteers build. Finally, something that seems to be working. Finally got something to come together. So without further ado, let's jump into tonight's brew. Calling it Blitz-Krieg, after the Germans. So, it's a Ziatora deck, but there's only a sneaky one of. The real meat and potatoes is the Workshop Warchief, which is just phenomenal. And what we're trying to do is copy it as many times as possible with Kiki-Jiki. The rest of the deck is just grindy sort of value pile. So, I'll do the usual, take it from the top, describe the deck from left to right. I'll explain to you why it is that I picked the card, how it is that it synergizes with the other cards in the deck. Then what some of the various playlines and interactions are that you might come across during a typical match. Then we'll jump into some gameplay footage. Hopefully we'll get to show off as many of those playlines and interactions for you against some opponents in upper diamond. I've managed to claw my way into diamond 3. And then we'll jump back in at the end with my final thoughts. Kind of maybe we'll make some adjustments along the way, cut a thing here, put in another thing there. And yeah, so we've got full playset of the Grisly Sigil. I just wanted to test this card out. It's one of the new cards with Casualty. I haven't played any of the Casualty cards, and it's actually been really good because if you've got the thing to sacrifice to it, and you almost always do, then you can gain 4 life, which mitigates a lot of the life loss that we gained, that we have from the Tenacious Underdog being blitzed in from the graveyard more often than not. But also, you know, it hits creatures and planeswalkers, and 4 damage is quite a bit. That handles stuff like most of the important problems in the format right now, including Righteous Valkyrie, etc. Then we've got a full playset of the Unlucky Witness, which alongside our Riveteers Charm kind of have a similar effect. Are 2 of our main ways of getting some card advantage. When it dies, you exile the top 2 cards of your library. Until your next end step, you may play one of those cards. So you can either just start a turn off, say you have a lot of mana, and you just pay 1 black, and you know, use the Unlucky Witness as the casualty for your Grisly Sigil, get rid of something, and get another 2 cards. The risk with this is, you know, you end up with Ziatora that you can't cast. So it's quite risky. This is the one card that I'm debating changing. Could also just be a Eye Twitch or a Shambling Ghast or what have you. But for now, I'm testing out this Unlucky Witness. I've been pretty lucky with it. But it's not the only bit of card advantage. We've got the Tenacious Underdog and the Riveteers Requisitioner, which both have Blitz. So, you know, if you do Blitz them in when they die, you draw a card. The Riveteers Requisitioner also makes you a treasure when it dies, and that happens whether it's been blitzed in or not. So nice little bit of card advantage mixed in with like aggression. They both have 3 power. You can drop them on turn 2, and you know, the Tenacious Underdog you don't mind blocking with because it just keeps coming back. Of course, if you've got a Meathook Massacre down, every time you're doing all this blitzing stuff, whenever one of your creatures dies, each opponent loses 1 life. So you're also draining them with the Meathook Massacre, which is fantastic in a blitz deck. Then we've of course got a full playset of the Fable of the Mirror Breaker. This guy is really ridiculous. Like, the more people play with it, like I was thinking of trying out the other one, Jaxus, but Jaxus requires you to discard a card. It's in a deck that's, I don't know, I mean, the only real thing that you want to be discarding is maybe the Tenacious Underdog. Everything else you want to keep. So the Fable of the Mirror Breaker is just better because you also get this Goblin, you get the treasure ramp. All in all, it's just the, you know, the little bit of deck filtering with the second chapter. It's just amazing. Then we've got Riveteers Charm, such a nice versatile one of the charms, probably in the top 2. Exile Player's Graveyard can be really important against certain matchups, but more often than not, we're using it to exile the top 3 cards of your library. You do that at the opponent's end step, and then you begin your turn with 3 new cards that you could potentially cast. Kind of similar to what the Unlucky Witness does. Of course, it's best to just leave the Unlucky Witness up as a blocker, a chump block, and then you get to cast those cards at the beginning of your next turn, instead of it happening during your turn, and then you end up with less mana to do it with, like in the first line that I mentioned with the Grisly Sigil. Then, 4-drop. Fantastic new card, which is doubling as a little bit of artifact and enchantment removal. Does 7 damage for 4 mana to creature or planeswalker. Instant speed. Just very clean. But, nice upside for costing so much. The excess damage, which is almost always going to be some. You take the excess, say you did 4 excess, you can get rid of a Hallowed Haunting. Plenty of good targets for this. That I've just been loving it. Absolutely loving this card. Kind of skimmed over it during spoiler season, but it's actually the truth. I promise you. So I got on with a full play. I initially had a full play set, and I didn't have the Ziatora, and I trimmed one, and I put in a Ziatora. Just wanted something with flying as a potential like bomb sometime in the late game. Then we've got the real workhouse, the powerhouse here, the Workshop Warchief. This is the main copy target for Reflection of Kiki-Jiki. Because whenever it enters the battlefield, you gain 3 life, and then it'll immediately leave the battlefield at the end of that turn because of Kiki-Jiki, and when it leaves the battlefield, you get a Rhino. So if you start looping that, if you've also got the Meathook Massacre in play, it's another win con. Like, either you can just attack with these Rhinos and win, but if it becomes one of those stalemates, then you can just, every time the thing dies, you're draining with the Meathook. You can have other things dying, and every time you're pooping out a Rhino until eventually your board state overtakes the opponents, and you can swing in with the Rhinos, or you can eventually top deck a Ziatora and start sacrificing those Rhinos and flinging them in the opponent's face. That's the deck. Pretty sweet. It's finally kind of working. The Warchief, the Warchief here is ridiculous. Mana base, crazy stuff going on as usual with the 3-color ones. But we did manage to squeeze in 2 Hives, 1 Den, 2 Boseijus for more enchantment and artifact removal, 1 Takenuma, 1 Sokenzan. The rest is just like a hodgepodge of duels and a full play set of the Proving Ground. First version of Riveteers. Let's jump into some games. Oh. Get warmed up. Focused. Water. Michael Pauly. I don't really like it, but I'll keep it. I'm hoping to top deck a red source. Hey, ask and you shall receive. Now we just blitz in the Requisitioner, I think. Oh no, Vanishing Burst City. That's a big problem for us. Here's the sigil. We also get our treasure off of the guy dying, and we gain 4 life. We can play the Warchief next turn. It's not bad. It's probably Esper. Yeah. Ziatora, sorry, what's her name? Rafine. And all that jazz. This deck is so strong. I have a bad feeling about this one, unfortunately. They tend to somehow just get ahead with all that conniving. Now, do we risk casting and tapping out? Or we could Tenacious Underdog and hold up a Charm. Whew. I think that's the go. Because then we can get him to sacrifice a Rafine without targeting it for the ward. He's probably got a Wandering Emperor in hand. Mind. I guess that's kinda nice. Just play another one. And it's for sure he's got a Vanishing Burst in there for my Warchief the minute I drop it. And then we don't get the death trigger, we can't copy it, all that stuff. Worst first matchup possible. Getting through 4 of these is going to be a real pain. Deep thoughts. Let's see if he blocks. If he doesn't, I'll probably just Grisly Sigil his Legion Angel off of the Tenacious Underdog. Gain a bit of life. Then we can start using him from the grave to draw cards. Might just let it through. Oh, nice. Okay. I'm down with that. I'm down with that. One less angel in my life. 2 down. 2 more to go. It's a lot of lands. Might even have a... Here comes the burst, though. Void Rend. But yeah, I was gonna say Lolth could be a play now. Now the verse. No. Okay, interesting. How many black do we have? Well, whatever. Yeah. Don't need more lands, thank you. Just gonna go eat my Tenacious Underdog. Cheeky, cheeky bugger. Should have put in a few Field of Ruins somehow. Now it's really hard to find space for that sort of thing. Terrible matchup. Terrible, terrible. And this Hive is a pain in my butt. I've got no way to deal with it except for the Unleash the Inferno. He's gonna come at my other copy of the Underdog. But he doesn't have enough mana to activate the Hive now.
With the right tools, I can do anything. Our eyes are everywhere.
And then we can Sigil this dude. Unfortunately, the Tenacious Underdog is probably a goner. Hive the Eye Tyrant, so good. Hey, thanks for that. That's just great. Woohoo! I can get rid of a few things at once.
Now this is a juicy secret.
Fantastic. One more in hand. But he's probably going to go after my underdog now, yeah. And draw a card off the Kaito, because I can't block. Cool thing is we have our own Hive. I'm going to swing for the Kaito with the Hive and go face with the Warchief. Unless he just drew a Vanishing Verse. No? Maybe? Nah. Whatever. I don't think he has any reanimation spells. I'm just worried about a what's her name? The Wandering Emperor on my Warchief.
Oh, there will be a next time.
Let's see. He's only got these 2 white sources. I think that's been a real pain for him. Seven damage. Please swing with the Hive. I want to kill that Hive. Yeah. Is that the last angel? I think that's the last angel. Ooh. Yeah. Wow, this guy has deep thoughts, man. Mr. Paulie. Skadoosh. No white mana to flash in a Wandering Emperor. We can go Warchief and oof. Oof. Nice. That's just beautiful. One, two. Doesn't do it. Ah. And one more mana. Could have done a Meathook Massacre on ourselves. Farewell won't do it, Doomspell won't do it. I don't know what he could have that'll do it, but something. Wandering Emperor plus something else, I don't know. Still wouldn't do it. Just because we've got our own Hive of the Eye Tyrant. Listened to a podcast, I think it was the Goldfish guys, talking about, you know, the things from each set that were the most impactful. For sure, Adventures in Forgotten Realms, it's the creature lands. What you got? Oh, okay. Vanishing Burst plus... Now Priest brings back the Legion Angel. Okay. And then Vanishing Burst on my Warchief. No. Good game. Got him. This is kind of one of the ways of winning, like with the Meathook Massacre, often when it gets grindy like this. And it's all that life we built up in the beginning of the Grisly Sigils. He could have still had a Banishing Verse, I guess, on the Meathook Massacre. Alright, game 1 victory, although grindy. Took very long. Definitely got to show off a lot of the stuff. No Ziatora making any appearances, unfortunately. And didn't see a single copy of the Fable of the Mirror Breaker either, so let's jump into game 2 and see what happens. Card Shark 33 with a Zonder dude. Okay. White land. Greenland. Ooh, nah. No. Oh my god. Okay. Ooh, Ziatora. Hello. He's probably already thinking. Usually when they see this, they're like, oh god, here comes Ob Nixilis. But I don't have Ob Nixilis. which is quite cool. I should also change the sleeves to my Riveteer sleeves. Okay, so it is what I dreaded. Unfortunately, it is the case. Blitz you in. Make a treasure, draw card. I think I'll attack with everyone. Eight damage. Cheeky. Fine. Also. More clever. That's pretty nice. We should be able to kill that with one of those things. What's it called? Unleash the Inferno. We need to get one though. That's pretty important because this card runs out of control. And if they drop a second one, we're so screwed. Don't get me started on this deck. At least it doesn't appear. There we go. Why do I talk? I should just keep my mouth shut. I should just keep my freaking mouth shut. Yeah, this game's over. I can tell. Look at that. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Not even a Meathook Massacre now will get me out of this. Ooh, I got rid of one. We make the copy if we can at end step, but we might need to do it before to block stuff. What does this thing even do? Search. Ridiculous. This is just straight up Selesnya enchantments. I'm definitely happier to play this than yeah. Naya runes. Oh dear. I don't even know what I'm doing at this point. Yeah, I guess. Let's see what happens. Double A Ganjo. I think This is just GG. Straight up GG. Never say never though. There's a way there might be a way out. Okay, I think that just did it. Trample is a problem. Okay, watch this. Ah, you cheeky piece of rubbish. I think that's too little too late. Ooh. Oh. Only that I'd come into play tapped. I was gonna, if he didn't have the Boseiju, I think we still would have lost. I was gonna, you know, first block something, then tap and sack it or whatever, but no, that wouldn't have worked. So you can't make the copy. Never mind. We would have lost regardless. Oh, pity. Pet peeve. Those enchantment decks are really, really strong. Really strong. Not so much in best of 3. I guess there's probably quite a bit of good stuff you could sideboard in against them. But still, I wouldn't be surprised if it makes a little bit of a comeback at the next event. At least the Naya Runes version. Sure. Third Riveteer Requisitioner. Not be too bad. Okay, that's enough lands now. Thank you. Interesting. He's just using it for the ram. It's not a wolf deck per se. I like that. Also, I really like that. Oh gosh. Are you kidding me? Ridiculous. This card, so strong. I think we need a little bit more removal. I think we could do with a little bit more removal. Oh wow, it's the full-on nonsense deck. Come on. this is bad. Okay. Does not have haste. We double block. Finally ridding ourselves of this dude. Oh, that's even better, man. That's just great. Get rid of another creature. See if I care. All you have is a land. Ah. One damage gets through. You get something for that, I can't remember what. Okay, free land. Woohoo! Flips to nighttime though, if he doesn't cast anything. Interesting. Oh. That's perfect. I love this. Is just a good way of showing the witness. Flip it back to day. Okay. Not blitzed in, so has not got haste. You can discard this. Nice. Oof. Let's save it, see what comes up. I think the Massacre is the way to go here. It's the edge he has over me right now. Oh. It's gotta be the reflection, unfortunately. He was gonna give it haste with the Stormseeker and then make copies of things. Can't be having that. I'm the one who's making copies of things. Oh, baby, baby, baby. That's what I'm talking about. That is what I'm talking about. These don't have removal for my Ziatora. Okay. That is removal for my Kiki Jiki, though. Unfortunately. Yeah. Makes sense. Very unfortunate. Gain some life. I hope that wasn't a huge mistake. Okay. We didn't need to tap all of that stuff. That was a mistake, for sure. Oh, that Meathook is what got us. I knew it. In the end. And we're screwed. So annoying. Unbelievable. Ah! Terrible, terrible draws. Except for the Ziatora. We got to show off the Ziatora a little bit. Didn't quite do much though. Terrible, terrible loss. That was very frustrating. I thought we had him there for a second. On to the next one. Unbelievable. Ein Fisch. Make a card, draw a card, make a treasure. I think the Meathook's gonna come really in handy. Finally we get one. Vanishing Verse. Anything's possible. Sure. Definitely charming fellow in his hand, the Wandering Emperor, almost certainly. Knew it.
I've learned much during
I'm so sick of this card, man.
Keep watch for intruders.
Just can't attack anymore. Okay, so this is just full-on Esper Walker's control bullshit. Yay! I'm gonna block and get the cards
Remember your training.
at a better time. Chief. You have got to be kidding me, dude. I cannot stand this shit. Although I was playing it last night. There's literally no more point in me trying any sort of fun stuff anymore when this kind of deck is what's ruling the roost. Honestly. Okay, she's got...
I'm
Bugger
never
off.
done for good.
I could sneak right by, but I'm itching to fight.
Second least favorite matchup after the usual you know who's. Naya Rune's least favorite. Second is Esper Walker's. All the best removals, all the best planeswalkers. Super grind fest. Let's see if we can do anything here, but I got a bad feeling. Sorry, bud. Oh, I love it when people make mistakes. At least there's that. Occasionally they make a mistake. Whew. Nice. On to the next one. How are we doing for time? Whoa. Oh goodness. We've shot well past. Oh well. We're gonna have to call it there. I don't want to go like an hour plus long video. Those take forever to upload. So yeah. I think we got to see most of the playlines and interactions. We got to end on a win, which is fantastic. The copying of the Rhino didn't quite go down as many times as I wished it could have. But yeah. Overall, probably the only thing I would consider is Unlucky Witness, bye-bye, and bring in like some Strangles, like even more removal. Because anyway, like I've said a few times now, these days your Ziatora's Proving Ground is your one drop. Comes into play tapped, you've got no other one drop to play. The Unlucky Witness, you risk that you exile something that you can't cast. I'd rather that happen later in the game with Riveteers Charm, and the card draw off of the stuff blitzing plus the bit of filtering from the chapter 2 here, and then you know this sort of pseudo card draw with the Riveteers Charm has been enough that maybe the Unlucky Witness could go for some Strangles. But that's up to you. I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments. But that's going to be it for tonight's video. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We're trying to get to 700, guys. It's going to be a first big giveaway in stages. So yeah, please don't forget to subscribe. More than half of you don't who watch my videos. And yeah, I'll see you all tomorrow for some fresh brews. And until then, this is Lone Fox from the BrewLab signing out. Peace, y'all.